If you lose a listing, it's not over. There's others. I think we take rejection too strongly. And so I would say embrace the no. Embrace the adversity, because the adversity exposes your character and really shows the ones that want it more.
Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Smart Agents Podcast. My name is Michael Walter and I'll be your host. With each episode, our goal is to inspire you through insight and inspirational stories from fellow real estate insiders, and today's episode will surely do that. Now, before we get into today's featured interview, make sure you follow and subscribe to the show on whatever platform you listen to podcasts. You can find it on everything from Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, we are there. Also, as you can see if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the Smart Agents YouTube channel. Click the bell to get notifications when each new episode is uploaded. Lastly, if you or someone on your team has an awesome story to share, send us a message at feedback@smartagents.com. We're always on the lookout for new agents to feature. Now on to today's featured interview. With 2,500 transactions combining for over $1 billion in value, Northrop Realty was named the #1 specialty brokerage by Real Trends in 2020. Along with his wife, founder and CEO Creig Northrop has grown his business into a powerhouse of over 200 real estate professionals. Throughout our conversation, Creig explains how he has grown his brokerage through truly investing in his employees, and he shares the knowledge gained over the course of his 35-year history in the industry. All right, so just getting started, could you tell me a little bit about yourself, where you are located in the country, and how long you've been in the industry?
Yep. My name is Creig Northrop. I've been in this business 35 years. In Maryland is our primary sort of hub, and then we, of course, service Delaware, Pennsylvania, D.C., Virginia, and now Florida as well. Kind of expanded our footprint. We were a team. Back in 2000, my wife and I decided to start a team and kind of grew from there. And if you're going to do it anyway, why not be the best? We became #1 in the nation 3 times under the Real Trends Wall Street Journals. And then once you call it reach one, teach one, once you got to where you want to go, we actually became a brokerage. So what we did is we actually took the team concept, brought it over to a brokerage, had 100% retention once we became a broker, and we kept all the systems. So now we have about 30 teams that we've grown. And in fact, many of the teams actually this weekend, very proud, many of these teams this weekend said they've done more business so far this year and settled more than they all did all of last year or with other brokerages. So I'm really excited about our achievements of growing other teams now. And so really kind of finding that fun and kind of seeing it. 1 year with us is like 10 years in the business. So with the amount of learning, and we just released a new platform called Elevate, which is really good for the agents getting into the business. I think we lack education and mentorship. It's a requirement for our brokerage that you have to have three transactions with a mentor before you really can be out there on your own when you're a new agent. Because I think it's so important right now, the education side. And then, of course, we have this Elevate programs, and we have what they call Northrop U. Northrop U is an incredible program. I would model it after Under Armour did it for University of Maryland. And so the theory was, let's train these athletes, train these agents, only our agents, to make them the best possible. Because just like anything else, the more they know, the better they are with the clients. And we basically grow our culture of incredible agents. We're very proud that 60% of our brokerage does $5 million or more.
Wow. So that whole concept is fantastic, because you don't hear that a lot. The time investment into the education of somebody, because it is an investment for you as a brokerage to get them up to speed, but it's going to pay you back tenfold later on down the road. But what was it that made you decide to actually go that route, to go the full education route?
I think seeing the lack of, the better understood professionalism out there and the lack of knowledge that existed in the real estate market. Sadly, it's easier to get your real estate license than to get your driver's license. I mean, it's amazing. It's great. Don't get me wrong. And there's an amazing amount of professional agents. I'm going to be very clear on that. But our goal was that you have to emulate what you want to see. So we wanted to emulate it inside to make it outside. So everyone that works with the Northrop Realty agent always comments how incredibly professionally and just courtesy and empathetic they are. And I think that's what we wanted to see, because ultimately I still sell. I'm what they call a player's coach. So I still sell there to keep my pulse on the real estate market. And I realize what the other agents want out there. And there's such a difference between a good agent, a really good quality agent, than an agent just doing it as a hobby per se, right? And this is a business for us. I mean, we take it very seriously. It's very important to treat everybody respectfully, to courtesy, to responding phone calls, to being on time. It's all of them little things that add up to such big things that we're very disciplined as a company that way, and just very proud. Very proud of our agents because they do follow it and they want to be part of it. Then it's around like-minded people. That starts growing and growing and growing. We're up to about 250 agents now, as the brokerage there, and just keeping that mentality as we keep growing. But the only way you do that is through education. You have to educate them, right? You can't just, hey, good luck, right? Which is what the challenge is out there, right? Is, hey, let's just sign you, whatever it is, and then you just go do your thing. No. We're going to give you some structure. We're going to show you what the clients are looking for. We're going to give you the psychology of selling. We're going to help you get from good to great. We're going to make you a great agent if you want to be. You got to want. The drive is the hard part in agents, is you got to find the drive. But once you find the drive and the passion, the rest of it you can build.
So talking about that drive, how do you, and this is really for those agents that are looking to join a brokerage that maybe are looking, how can they show you that they have that drive? What are you looking for in a person?
That's a great question. And one of the things that makes us unique is we are a full service brokerage. So we take care of everything for the agents, so they can focus on what? The client, right? So the first drive is, are you a transaction agent or a relationship agent? Do you believe in building relationships? Do you believe in, catering to relationships? Can you show up a meeting on me on time? Can you return my call? These are simple tests that you can tell. And it's also, you can find passion in people just by spending 20, 30 minutes with them. Who's passionate for the business and who isn't. If I'm just here to collect a paycheck and, I want to make that 6-figure income, I get people to do that. They're the wrong people. They're the wrong people for this business, because ideally this is a people-person business and relationship matters. I fall in love with all my clients. Most of all my clients are really good friends of ours. They become really good friends, and I'm blessed by it. But that's how it starts. So we really embrace that, and it can be shined. Drive and passion cannot be hidden, I can be assured.
Right. And I really like that what you just said there, that all of your clients have, or most of them at least, have become very good friends of yours. That is what this business is. It is a connection-based business.
Yes, it is. No question.
Right. What, so when you were going from, when you were starting to grow your brokerage, what were some of the, I guess, apprehensions of, going out there and building this team on your own? Well,
ultimately, the interesting thing when building a team, it was great. I was in control. As a brokerage, you tend to lose a little of that control because now you got to believe in others. So that's where training comes back. Make sure that we train our team leaders, we train their expectations, we train our agents. So that training helps keep us a little connected, which is important, especially this COVID stuff, right? So that certainly has helped a lot. And then ultimately, watching them grow and they're going to make mistakes, but they're falling forward. You don't lose, you learn. And so what happens is nothing's fatal. And so the challenge that you get into with not only salespeople, but even team leaders is, hey, this agent's just not performing for me. God, I'm not a good team leader. That's not the case. Mm-hmm. Not every person is made to be on a team. Not every person is made to be a team leader, right? So it's just two-sided that. If you lose a listing, it's not over. There's others. I think we take rejection too strongly. And so I would say embrace the no. Embrace the adversity, because the adversity exposes your character and really shows the ones that want it more. And so, yes, the pie keeps shrinking as more and more agents get in, but just take a little more of it. It's really that simple. And I think that's really why training comes back to training, comes back to, letting go of some control. You have to, right? Delegation is probably one of the key things as you grow. If you can believe in somebody that can do it 70% as good as you can, delegate it out. No one's going to do it 100% like you are, but at least 70%. So we've done that, and 30 of the greatest team leaders, like I said, a lot of them wrote me this weekend, just ironically saying how amazing their year has been, and glad for our leadership. We have great leaders in each of our departments. And when we set out to do this team, which is now a brokerage, it was sort of like the IBM approach to real estate, where we broke down the whole client care coordinators, home market consultants, market department, IT, and training was the fifth piece. And I think having them, kind of helping and doing what you should do in life is let others do what their best talent is and let them thrive for it and stick with what you want to do, which is sell and be in front of the client. Client demands more time than ever right now. The personal ability right now is so needed out there that first time I got out from COVID, obviously masked up and gloved up. And, I always say I had this stuff in my car that just desanitized me and all that. The seller said, I don't want you to leave. I mean, I'm missing human interaction. I appreciate that. It was like really rewarding that way because it really shows how important agent and connectability and relationships really are. And so passionate about that. And so as you get bigger, what's the fear? The fear is that relationship starts thindering. They feel like more of a transaction versus a relationship. That's the fear factor, but that's where systems come in. So our systems we can do 40 or 50 listings a week, and the client feels like they're the only one. And that was really the goal. But you can't just release that. Hey, by the way, I'm going to go do that. Or hey, by the way, I'm going to be a team leader. That's not real. You're not going to be able to achieve it that way. You got to build it. You got to put the foundation of a house down before you can ever do anything else. Foundations are these 5 systems and then incredible people. Then build the people, it builds the business. Pretty cool. And it's amazing how and where we've gone. So we're just getting warmed up, by the way.
That's awesome, though.
You will see us on the map very strongly in the future.
Well, I love your enthusiasm also. I mean, I think that as a leader of these teams, I think that is so important, is to have that enthusiasm as well. And I can definitely tell that with you.
Yeah, thank you.
But I am interested, you're talking about how the personal relationships with the COVID, it's interesting that we're all talking, virtual listings and virtual this and that, but a lot of it really is boiling down to how much of a connection that you can make with somebody, even if it is through a screen. So it's like we're going into the future with things, but we're really peeling back to that most basic element of human interaction.
100% comes back to relationships. I'm telling you, the successful agents are relationship-based agents, and it's the care. You got to care first, right? You got to care first, period, because it's not, yes, you can. I did get listings over Zoom when we were going through this. I did over FaceTime, which I'd never done FaceTime in my life, and I did it. There was definitely changes that happened. It's called pivot, not pause, right? We definitely pivoted, but most importantly, we over-communicated. So by over-communication, kept the relationships going. And then once we were able to safely protect our clients and get in front of our clients again, they embrace that more than anything else. And I think they needed that. So I think as much as we can do computers and everything, and I think we can do Zooms and FaceTimes and all that other stuff, you still need that human interaction. You just do. It's just why we're never going to go out of business. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's an emotional buy. It's the largest purchase someone's going to buy. And guess what? You need somebody there fighting for you. You need somebody there taking care of you. You need somebody advising you. You need somebody that's done it before. Now, and I say that because in good teaching, it's also learning from somebody that's done it before, right? I know what 200 million looks like. I know what 500 million looks like. I know what a billion looks like. I know it from a team leader's eyes, I know it from a single agent eye, and now I know it from a broker's eyes. And so what's amazing is while my wife and I were going and fighting to be on top of the team, being the number 1 team in the nation, we were number 2 for like 5 years. So we went around the country and met top agents in Orange County and another one in California, then down in Florida, the Jills, and then Ryan Surian up in New York. We met others to understand what they were about so that we can take that back and build it better. And I think that doesn't happen as much out there, and I think it should.
Right. And I love that whole concept. You should be learning from the best. I mean, that's the only way you're going to, the wheel, we don't reinvent the wheel. We know we learn from it and learn how to use it better.
Right.
But I also, really interested, you talked about the business that your teams are doing through COVID. What was when everything was kind of in March, when everything kind of blew up, and there was that initial fear of everything. What was your initial reaction to things, and what was your reaction to seeing how things panned out?
It was amazing because obviously, just like anything else, it came out pretty quickly. The shutdown was like, oh my gosh, overnight. First philosophy was keep moving forward, right? In some way, some capacity, together, we're going to keep moving forward. I think that was the first step. The second step is we've been through other like kind, not like this, because this is a health thing, other like kind, recession, 9/11, other things. So the good news, our business has seen it, withstood it, and became better from it. In the recession, we became number one in the nation. In this COVID, we're actually blowing, all of our records are being broken. But that's just because we didn't step down. I call it deer in headlight syndrome, but we didn't pause. We kind of just pushed through it. We stepped up our meetings, our whole office company. We had company meetings I'd say almost every other day, kind of keeping them engaged so they didn't have time to think. The problem is with realtors is they overthink, and then 97% of your thoughts are negative. So the problem is the world's shutting down. Oh my God. And it did for a little bit. Don't get me wrong. There was a period of time that as an owner, my wife and I had to protect the company, right? We call it protect the company. Everybody had to get bring the shutters in, put the storm shutters up, kind of protect it first. Once we realized that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that we're going to all get through this, we keep the conversation. We kept everybody strong, kept everybody in place, and then we released them, and it was just absolutely amazing. And so, yes, there was a limited time, but we limited it. We didn't leave it. It's a conversation today. They're out doing their thing. It's, they're back with protection. Don't get me wrong. They're protected. They got masks. They got gloves. They got protocols. All of that's out there. We just learned how to adapt to it quicker than just waiting for it, right? For somebody else to tell us how to adapt, we created how to adapt to it. So, and with the help of great people, Ray, and, we got, my son, William, and Jen, and my wife, we all just didn't, our managers who were great through this, we relied on some good leadership as well.
Right. I think that proactive approach is so needed. You want to be, you don't want to be second, third, or fifth in line coming up with how you're going to react to something. You got to be out there in front. That's awesome. So I don't want to hold up too much of your time, but the question I've asked a lot of people, especially people like yourself that have been in the industry for such a long time, what is, if you could look back and talk to yourself, those 35 years ago when you were getting into it, what's the number one piece of advice you would give to yourself?
Stay a rookie. The reason I say that is veterans has a handicap. Veterans know too much, so they don't do the actions they used to do when they were a rookie. See, as a rookie, when you sell your first house, you had your best year ever. It's pretty cool, right? You have that feeling, that want, that love, that calling, that, oh my God, what adrenaline. As a veteran, you think you already know they don't want to sell their house. They don't need me. They don't call me back. Then they use somebody else. There's so much of that I wish I would be more rookie-ish more often. And I think that's advice for all of us, especially the rookies. Be a rookie, live a rookie, stay a rookie, because it really is the best place to be if you want to continue to grow your business.
I love that concept. I think that, not becoming complacent is that idea. I think that's a great way to wrap up this interview, because I think that is such a great concept for people to live by.
Well, my pleasure. It was a pleasure talking to you today, and wish you luck on all your growth and what you're going to be doing next with all of this. So we're glad to be part of it.
So I really want to thank Creig for joining me. And after speaking with him, it's easy to see why he's been so successful. I really love the line about always being a rookie. With the speed in which things evolve in today's world, you cannot afford to be complacent. So once again, if you think you or someone on your team has an awesome story or a tip to share with our community, send a message at feedback@smartagents.com. Well, that wraps things up for this episode, but remember, follow the show wherever you listen to podcasts, and make sure you subscribe to the Smart Agents YouTube channel. Again, I'm Michael Walter, and we'll see you on the next episode.